Away from me, bitch! Get out of my first, though!
Join us as we explore some jaw-dropping real-life Karen encounters and the instant karma that follows. From outrageous demands to immediate consequences, these clips showcase how quickly bad behavior can turn around in the most unexpected ways. Prepare to be entertained and amazed by the swift justice served. In the first story, which highlights the controversy of public protests and marches, clashes between opposing factions can escalate quickly. This was the case recently in the United States where a Putin supporter clashed with police. On October 12, 2022, the scene took place in a bustling city where public protests were taking place in a California neighborhood. On one side, a march in support of Ukrainian sovereignty and condemnation of the ongoing conflict with Russia had attracted a sizable crowd. The atmosphere was filled with emotion as speakers addressed the gathered supporters, calling on them to stand in solidarity with Ukraine. Amidst the fervor of the rally, a Putin supporter made their presence known. This individual, with his clear pro-Russian sentiments, stood out as a contrasting figure in a sea of pro-Ukrainian supporters. Their clothing and signs reflected a strong opposition to the protesters' cause, signaling a provocative stance against pro-Ukrainian sentiment. The presence of these supporters is not entirely unexpected given the polarized nature of the current geopolitical situation. However, their decision to directly confront the protest shows how their commitment to their cause translates into direct action. As the protest progressed, the supporters' actions escalated, adding to the tension of the event. The confrontation began as Putin supporters became increasingly agitated by the ongoing speeches and performances. Frustration grew, and it became clear that supporters were not satisfied with the message of the protest. At this point, police officers who are tasked with maintaining order and ensuring public safety arrived to manage the crowd and resolve any disturbances. As pro-Putin Karen approached the police, her demeanor shifted from passive dissent to active provocation. Words were exchanged and the situation quickly deteriorated. The police attempted to defuse the situation, but the supporters' agitation culminated in a dramatic and hostile act spitting on the police.
Just like our reservation. We're sovereign.
Spitting on the police was a serious provocation and was met with immediate and appropriate action. The police, demonstrating professionalism amid hostility, moved quickly to restrain the supporters. The crowd reacted with shock and a variety of reactions, underscoring how tensions had escalated beyond verbal disagreements.
Stop your war in Ukraine! Stop your genocide in Ukraine! Ukraine!
Russia steps, ready? Russia is a terrorist. Героям слава! Героям слава! Героям слава!
The Putin supporter was arrested and detained for assaulting the police and disturbing the peace. The arrest was made with the aim of de-escalating the conflict and ensuring the situation remained under control. According to California Penal Code 243B, assault on a law enforcement officer, this article provides for assaulting, beating, or using force against a police officer, a law enforcement officer, or law enforcement officer while they are performing their duties without the use of a weapon. Karen's actions of arguing and spitting at the police officer to express her displeasure were violations of this article. Karen's reckless behavior has been classified as a serious crime of assaulting a person performing their duties, a law enforcement officer. If convicted, she can be sentenced to up to 1 year in county jail or a fine of up to $1,000 or both. The penalty can also be increased if the police officer suffered minor injuries or if the assault had other aggravating factors. Alright, this case was wild, but still not the worst one. Just wait until you see this next one. On 25th March 2018, somewhere in either Illinois or Florida, a seemingly ordinary day takes an extraordinary turn inside a Boost mobile store. This is a story of tension, confrontation, and unexpected resolution. Inside this Boost mobile store, an ordinary setting becomes the stage for an unexpected clash. The two African-American women, one of whom is wearing a particularly scantily clad outfit, enter the store. Their presence alone stirs a subtle undercurrent of discord among the store's patrons. Enter the American Caucasian woman whose arrival seems to escalate the already simmering tension. The reason for the brewing conflict remains unknown, but the dynamics between these individuals are about to unravel dramatically. The dialogue between the women soon transforms from casual chit-chat to a heated exchange. Voices rise, tempers flare, and it becomes clear that this is no ordinary disagreement. The precise cause of the argument is lost in the heat of the moment, but the words spoken reveal a deeper, underlying issue.
Okay, go sit down. Go sit down then. I what? Who gonna move me? I never told you. Who gonna move me? I don't know. You are all because I didn't put my hands on you. Hey, hold on. Why is this yelling?
And because black bitches don't
Issue. The black woman, visibly agitated, takes offense to a remark she perceives as derogatory from Karen. Her anger manifests in a visceral physical reaction, a series of aggressive, ape-like swings aimed at her opponent. The conflict intensifies as her fellow troop member joins the fray, contributing to the chaotic melee. The clash unfolds with a flurry of chaotic movements. Fists fly, though many of the blows barely connect. The store's employees and patrons are caught in a state of disbelief, unsure of how to defuse the situation or even if they should intervene. As the altercation continues, exhaustion and frustration are evident on the faces of those involved. The chaotic energy of the confrontation seems to sap the strength of the participants, and it becomes clear that the fight is losing momentum. Even the remaining white American woman then stood there stunned and hurt that her reckless actions had cost her dearly. As the store returned to normal, the echoes of the confrontation still hung in the air. Employees and customers began to piece together their days, their thoughts no doubt haunted by the sudden and violent disruption that had just taken place before their eyes. In Florida statutes, Chapter 784.03 battery is defined as an intentional act that causes physical harm or bodily injury to another person. This can include the use of force, pain, or injury without the victim's consent. If the battery results in serious injury or there are aggravating factors such as a prior conviction for assault, it can be charged as a felony. Although Karen started the fight, the two black women's actions by repeatedly hitting Karen violated the law. If convicted, the two women face up to 1 year in prison and/or a maximum fine of $1,000. In Florida statutes, Chapter 784.011 assault defines assault as an act that intentionally threatens or causes another person to fear they will be attacked, even without actual physical contact. To be considered assault, the act must create a credible threat of an attack. The act must be done with the intent to intimidate or make another person feel threatened or humiliated. Karen's actions in cursing and insulting the two black women fall within the scope of this law. If convicted, Karen faces a sentence of up to 1 year in prison and/or a fine of up to $1,000. Seems like this woman just landed herself in hot water. But wait until you see this insane final case. On the evening of February 4th, 2022, a seemingly ordinary night at a local Waffle House in Longview, Texas took an extraordinary turn. This is the story of a woman whose disruptive behavior led to her arrest and a complex interaction with law enforcement. It began like any other evening at the restaurant. Guests were enjoying their meals and the staff was busy attending to their duties, but as the night wore on, the atmosphere shifted. A disturbance began brewing that would soon capture the attention of local authorities and become a topic of heated discussion. The woman at the center of this incident arrived at the Waffle House displaying erratic behavior. Her agitation quickly became apparent as she began arguing with the staff, insisting she had been wronged and showing little regard for the restaurant's policies or the comfort of other patrons. Her actions were disruptive and aggressive, creating a tense environment that compelled the staff to take action. Now recognizing that the situation was escalating beyond their control, the Waffle House staff contacted the police. By the time officers arrived, the scene was charged with frustration and hostility. The woman was still inside her defiant attitude, unyielding. As officers approached, they were met with a barrage of anger. The woman was adamant that she had been mistreated and repeatedly demanded to know why she was being asked to leave. Her interactions with the officers were marked by a refusal to cooperate and a string of expletives that made it clear she was not in the mood to comply.
Okay, because those weren't even really... Okay, hold on, stop. Okay, I'm familiar with who you are. Okay, you're stop. My turn. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll take you with me. All right. So here's the deal. Okay. Stop with the crap. Do you need these guys or not?
I did.
Okay. Do you need these guys or not? It's a yes or no question.
Yes.
Okay. What do you need them for, other than wasting their time?
The officer's primary goal was to defuse the situation. They tried to reason with her, explaining the need for her to leave the premises. However, their efforts were met with resistance. The woman accused the officers of harassing her and used aggressive language, further escalating the situation. Despite their attempts to offer assistance and understand her needs, her behavior remained confrontational.
Okay, you're incredibly every officer at Longview that has dealt with you has the same understanding of you.
Ma'am,
as
I've got my face and get it.
Okay, I'm not in your face.
You disgust me.
No, that's not how this works.
No, why not?
That's not how this works.
Do you know how much I've been violated?
Okay,
I know you don't.
I don't. Okay, we're not going to do it.
I will go to the hospital without you, you dumb.
Okay, so what are we going to the hospital for?
As the confrontation continued, the woman's defiance turned into outright hostility. She threatened the officers and displayed a complete disregard for their authority. Her behavior included threats of physical violence and a refusal to follow any instructions. The officers had no choice but to take more decisive action to ensure the situation did not spiral further out of control.
Or you can go to jail.
Where am I going to go?
Go pick that up, or you can go littering.
Bitch, you need to get the...
Go pick it up.
Get the fuck out of my goddamn...
Go pick it up.
And if I didn't want
go
to... Go
pick it up.
16-138.
Do y'all want her to trespass?
Please, no.
Only trespass from the property.
Bitch, he just said no, bitch.
He said yes.
Didn't I?
Gather your belongings.
If you don't get the fuck away, get the fuck away from me. Sorry. Get the...
Or you're going to jail.
Get the fuck away from me.
Get off the property.
Get away from me, you dumb...
Go pick it up.
Go to hell.
Go pick it up. Keep going. That's still their property.
I'm not allowed over there.
Keep going. That's still their property.
I'm not allowed over there,
Keep
whore.
going. That's still their
Get
property.
the away from me, bitch.
Get out
of my first, though. Bring me home.
I'm not taking you anywhere. Get off the property. Get off the property.
Fuck you, I'm having a panic attack.
You're not having a panic attack.
The struggle to remove her from the Waffle House was physical and challenging. The officers had to use force to restrain her, leading to a chaotic scene that was distressing for everyone involved. The woman continued to resist, leading to a tense standoff that drew the attention of onlookers and further complicated the situation. After a prolonged struggle, the officers succeeded in handcuffing the woman and escorting her to a police vehicle. Her resistance did not subside even as she was being transported. The arrest was marked by continued verbal outbursts and a refusal to accept the reality of her situation.
Get up. You're going to go.
I'm having a panic. Baby,
Get on the ground. Now.
stop it, please.
Roll over now.
Roll over. Let's go.
You're about to get sprayed. Roll over.
Roll over.
Roll over.
Come on.
Roll over.
Stop it.
Get Lacey.
No.
All right, Morgan.
Why are you doing this?
Give me your hand.
Stop it. Stop it. Why are
Have
you...
these. Give me.
Give me my glasses. Why are you doing this?
Because I asked you to get off the property 7 times.
I can't go to that property. And I can't breathe. I have a whole box of clothes. Ma'am, please don't do this. Please.
Resisting.
I know I didn't think Why are you doing this?
Get up. Get up.
Even inside the police vehicle, the woman's behavior did not change. She continued to shout and protest, expressing her frustration and anger at the entire process. Her outbursts were a reflection of her mental state and the severe distress she was experiencing. The officers, now dealing with the aftermath of the incident, were faced with the challenge of documenting the event and managing the consequences. They noted that this was not an isolated incident, but rather part of a recurring pattern of behavior from the woman. Her interactions with emergency services had been problematic in the past, with previous encounters involving similar levels of aggression and resistance.
Morgan?
I'll do everything okay.
Stop.
Why are you doing this to me? Stop it. What the fuck are you doing this for?
Get Preston out of here.
Why are you doing this to me? Stop it! Why are you doing this?
Get in.
fucking mad right now.
What happened?
He just watched me fight this bitch. The 2 firemen had to get in.
Long and spent 3 hours out there with those. The good thing is, now that she's in the system, she'll be able to. He's got something arranged for her.
Yeah. He dealt with her over there. She's spitting over by us and telling us to fuck off and all this stuff. And
With the arrest completed, the next step was to transport the woman to the hospital for evaluation. However, this too was fraught with difficulties. Her refusal to comply with standard procedures and her aggressive demeanor created additional hurdles for the officers. They had to carefully manage her transfer to ensure she received the necessary medical attention while maintaining safety and order. Under Texas Penal Code Section 42.01, the crime of public disorderly conduct encompasses a wide range of conduct that may cause a public nuisance. And this includes yelling or screaming in a public place that may create a noisy or uncomfortable environment for others, resulting in a charge of public nuisance, verbal or physical threats that may cause another person to feel fearful or unsafe. And this may include threats of violence or psychological harm. Karen's conduct falls within the scope of this section. Those charged with public nuisance may be charged with a Class B misdemeanor, which carries a maximum sentence of 6 months in jail and or a fine of up to $2,000. Under Texas Penal Code Section 38.03, resisting arrest is defined as an act of willful obstruction or resistance to the lawful performance of a law enforcement officer's duties. This may include physical resistance or actions that make arrest more difficult. Hey, Karen's resisting arrest and failure to comply with the arrest process violates this law. Resisting arrest is a felony of the 3rd degree in Texas. This means that if convicted, an individual may face more severe penalties than misdemeanor charges. Specifically, if convicted of resisting arrest, an individual may face up to 10 years in prison. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more great content. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about how this situation was handled? We'd love to hear from you.